Okay, let's just get one thing out of the way first. I have a cold at the moment, so I apologize if I sound a bit funny. And I was hoping to make a long form video again. This is not what I expected it to be. To be completely honest, I swore off making any art commentary content unless there was something that absolutely needed to be said. But unfortunately, there is. I'm not making this video about the community who talk about art-related subjects like Beedrawls and Duchess Celestia. I will be talking about the community who exposes people for being creeps and turning it into drama. By the way, there were quotations there. Now, although I might make references to the recent situations that have happened because they brought the issues to light, this has been an ongoing issue for years, and I do not want this to be associated with any one person or situation. And although these are only my opinions, and I could very much be wrong about this, I still want people to hear me out, especially minors. This needs to be said. I will be talking about grooming, doxing, harassment, depictions of bestiality, and just child endangerment. So if you're in a bad place and feel as if you cannot listen, please click off. Your mental health is much more important than how many people see this message. With that said, let's begin. So you know how in every video about a situation, there's a statement at the beginning saying, "Do not harass anyone mentioned in the video." That includes commenting on said person's posts, full stop. Seriously, it worries me how many people, including minors, do this. Whether it's to say their disappointment in the person or treat it like drama. Most of the time, I will see people having TikTok-esque comments poking fun at the situation and straight up insulting said person. Hell, I've even seen with the birdie drama someone drawing him doing stuff to his ferret. Which, I'm sorry, I'm not defending him in any way, but why on earth would you draw that and think it's funny? It's not funny, it's just really gross to draw an animal in that way in any situation. Now, I completely understand why you'd feel anger, frustration, or any negative emotion when someone you looked up to is outed for being a bad person. But memeing on the situation is not okay. We need to treat this situation with respect because people have been actually traumatized, and we need to be respectful of the victims. Whether you're expressing your concerns, disappointment, or making light of the situation, which, come on, you shouldn't go to the person's comment section to tell them, especially if you're a minor. Not only is it going to boost the perpetrator's channel, but you're also going to put yourself in danger of reaching out to them, especially if you're one of the people who's on their side. They might use that to their advantage. If you want to express your feelings about the situation, do it in a safe environment, whether it be a group chat with friends who know about the situation, or the comment section of a person covering said topic. That way, you won't be boosting their videos or potentially endangering yourself. And if it helps, they'll find out about the general community's disappointment and disgust anyway, since they'll always know when they're in a situation. The next topic I'll bring up is actually one that's been said before by some others, but at the same time, I feel like it hasn't been said enough. Usually, there'll be multiple big creators calling someone out on the situation, or someone personally involved will make a video about it. But once that general information is out and viewed by many, a bunch of other channels start making videos on it, rehashing the same old points and not adding anything new to the situation. Which I don't think that's helpful at all, and again, could be dangerous depending on your age and what side you're on. In fact, you could draw attention away from the situation at hand because of something stupid you did, whether it be accidental or on purpose. To the point where everyone's worrying about that instead of listening to any other potential victims or the well-known one. If you want to spread awareness but don't actually have anything new to say, the better option would be to either put a doc or a video covering the situation in a community post, or just send them to people know. If you see a person who's made fun out for the perpetrator, let them know in the comments calmly and send them evidence if they ask. But there really doesn't need tons of videos saying the same thing over and over again, or distracting from the situation. My final thing I ask when taking things into consideration is when handling minors who need to be called out. Because usually what happens is they end up getting tons of videos calling them out, getting slandered, and then get people harassing and doxing them. Which I hope we can all agree that doxing and harassment isn't okay. It will just make the person less likely to change and screw them over. Now, I'm not saying we should never call them out or that every minor who's in drama will be willing to change when you call them out. I'm saying, instead of making things public immediately, we should try and resolve things privately first. If we reach out to them through DMs to explain to them what they're doing is wrong and why you think it's wrong, they'll have a better time understanding how harmful They'll have a better time understanding how it's harmful and will want to apologize. It would be a good idea to help them word their apology and write the script as well if they ask. But if they're the ones saying what they did wrong and apologize for it publicly and in private to the people who are harmed, that would leave a better impact on their audience, as well as who might have normalized their actions. Now, if they ignore you, or they aren't willing to change, then unfortunately making a call-out post is the next best thing. But I feel like with minors that should be a last resort since they aren't fully developed yet. Honestly, I would straight up say minors shouldn't be involved with the commentary community. It's not healthy at all. But not only would that make me a hypocrite, I also don't believe in that statement. Unfortunately, minors are the people that need to know about this the most, as they're the most likely to be in danger around these types of people. And usually, they're the main groups of fans with said people. But I also know how this community can have a negative impact on people when consuming too much. It can make them depressed that so many people they looked up to can turn out to be dangerous. And it could desensitize people to these things. Because when you see the people that you used to enjoy getting exposed so often, it just feels like another Tuesday. And the reason why I feel like these issues that aren't even tied to one person are important enough for me to speak on, despite the fact I don't want videos like these to become a regular on this channel, is because I am this kid. I started watching commentary videos since I was 12 years old. I would joke about the situation and reach out to the perpetrator. Hell, I did this very recently. I would watch tons and tons of videos saying the same things, and watch all the other people get involved that eventually what was the main focus was forgotten about. I would join in on hating a minor and demonizing them because clearly they couldn't change. And somehow, despite them being older, I knew better than them. And being in the community for so long, I got so desensitized that with the Cindy situation, I wondered why people that weren't involved were being so dramatic about her betrayal because they weren't the victims. But when I thought about what I said, I realized how many issues this community has caused to the viewers. We shouldn't be numb because grooming someone is a horrible thing to do, and finding out that someone you looked up to would do that is devastating. So I decided to make this video, because I haven't seen anyone else talk about it. I could be thinking idealistically, and what I said could not actually work in practice, but I'd hope you'd take them into consideration regardless. And if you are a person who views this content, hopefully my last tip will help as it has helped me. Remember to take a break from this content if you're getting too stressed, whether you're a viewer or a creator. Hearing about this sort of thing isn't healthy. And even if your feed seems to be full of it, you always have other options to avoid it for a while. Whether it be watching a series, playing a game, talking to your friends, or doing activities away from the screen. You shouldn't feed yourself with this information constantly. And although it's good to distance yourself from the people you watch, and to not get too attached when this stuff does happen, it's okay to feel emotional about this, even if you weren't personally involved. And there are good creators out there that can create art and not do shitty things. But please, look after yourself and stay safe online. Thank you for those who have listened to me, and put your thoughts in the comments. Although I don't actually take criticism too well at the moment, it is something that I want to improve on, and I feel like it's needed with these subjects. I hope you have a wonderful day or night.